to move out on June 1st. Since then, I've made preferences for a new place, and I'm abundance journaling regularly. Still, money seems out of reach. It would be nice to not have to make a moving decision at the last minute. It feels discouraging to look for a place under these circumstances. Am I still hanging on to a starving artist energy? What do you see within me that's creating this resistance, and what should I be careful of at this time? I don't know how to change this.
Very good question. We like very much how you stated your question. So we want to first give you some real congratulations for that. That's got to be the most succinct question you've ever asked us. Would you agree, Mary?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Yeah, she's over there admiring you. We can feel it from here. So that for us is a huge, 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 huge green flag, right? That's you saying, I'm clear. That's clarity. Now, it's clarity about uncertainty, but it's still clarity. So let's not, let's not skip over the fact that that's clarity, because that's very, 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 very big work that you've done there. What we would say is it's not so much attached to the starving artist mentality. That's not so much what we're feeling from you, Joey. What we're feeling from you is the attachment to the idea that you're, it's never going to work out. You've got the Eeyore thing going. Oh, it's never going to work out, right? It's never going to work out for me. I thought this was a good place and it's not, so it's never going to work out for me. You've kind of got that energy floating around in you. And it's different than the starving artist thing that we've tapped into before. So it's good that it's changed. It's just kind of, it's like a throwback energy. And we're not sure if this is true for more than just you and Veronica, but it's very true for Veronica right now. There's been a resurgence of throwback energy, where stuff that was bugging you in the past is bugging you again. And even though it's small in reality, it feels like it's this big all the time. So that throwback kind of energy in a how ridiculous does it have to get kind of way is what we're seeing in you, is that you're experiencing your throwback energy, and you're experiencing your throwback energy in a ridiculous kind of fashion, this it's never going to work out thing. So that you guys are clued in. When it's ridiculous, it's often that's used as a clue to say, oh, this is so ridiculous, it has to just be here for learning, not for actual, experiencing. It's that ridiculous. Therefore, it's not, we don't want to say it's not reality, but it's not, it shows up in a ridiculous way in order for you to be aware that the focus isn't necessarily on it as much as what you need to learn about it. Is that clear at all? We can feel it, but we don't feel like we're explaining it very well. Oh, Joey says he understands. He says, yeah, so much is fantastic right now, yet this is one of the things that's here nagging me. Exactly, and it's nagging you in kind of this ridiculous way. So you can look at it and say, yeah, my life is doing really well, and this ridiculous thing's bugging me, really big time, but it's ridiculous bugging me big time. Makes no sense. So it gives you that opportunity to not buy into it quite so much because of its strange nature. And for you, what we'd like you to just say is, you learned so much about living in the apartment you've been living in. You learned that you can have a nice place with a clean bathroom, right? You learned that you can have roommates that are different than the ones you had before. You learned how much you really want to live alone, or at least live with less people. So you learned so much. So it's it's not, it didn't work out. It's, wow, I've already learned all I can learn here. And that it's never going to work out energy is the ridiculous level of this, trying to tell you to focus on, it's giving you that opportunity to go into familiar suffering and focus on that rather than to focus on the generating event, which is, I need to have a place and I need to have some money together to get my new place. So when you're going out and looking for a new place, since you're taking the Eeyore energy with you, of course, that's what you're getting is more Eeyore energy. So scrap the Eeyore energy and have instead the energy of, I learn and grow wherever I go. I learn and grow wherever I go. It even rhymes, right? That's going to be your new motto. I learn and grow wherever I go. I learn and grow wherever I go. And I'm ready to learn about something, quote, working out. Now here's another Veronica thing. She's been on a roll lately, so we want to give her props. She's fascinated by this sense of it's more interesting for it to work out. And by work out, we don't mean work out, perfectly bunnies and rainbows. What we mean by work out is it's more interesting for Joey to find an apartment that he can afford by himself so he can learn about living by himself. Because that's the more interesting part, right? It's not more interesting for Joey to find another shitty roommate situation, because haven't we already had that? Like, everybody knows about Joey's shitty roommate situations, even just being on the Q&As. So it's clear that we've all learned enough about Joey having a shitty roommate situation. Can we all collectively agree to check that off, right? Let's all collectively agree we're checking Joey having shitty roommates off the list. Therefore, it's more fascinating for Joey to get a different kind of living situation. There's this idea, part of living in the generating event is recognizing that throwing yourself into triggered states is not the most interesting place anymore. That's not where the interesting place is. So for you, letting go of the Eeyore energy and opening up to the idea that the more interesting thing is to stay in the generating event of trigger around, can I afford it, can I find it, will it work out for me, and experience that. And that's just, for you, Joey, right now, it's kind of just a little, 20-degree shift of perspective rather than oh, fuck, I have to rearrange my whole goddamn life kind of thing. You're not starting over. This isn't starting at ground zero, which is a little bit like what we feel like you're feeling. You're not starting over. This isn't, skip the thing, go to jail in Monopoly. This is you just going, oh, here I am tempted to skip out of the generating event into the familiar suffering of it'll never work out, trigger. And instead I'll stay in the generating event, which is, wow, it's really actually more challenging for that to work out. And I'd rather stay in that challenge and rise to that challenge than mope around in the familiar suffering of it not turning out the way I hope. And then, of course, don't be attached to specific outcomes so that you can be open to all possibilities. Yes? Got it? We have to drink.